I've covered a lot of the WWE roster so far, but there's still more to go, so let's get to it. I'm John Rentham with my real honest thoughts on the Age of Wrestling WWE Part 4. Yes, the Four Horsemen, the symbol of excellence. I don't know why I said it like that. So yeah, if you haven't been following along, I'm covering the entire WWE roster that is available on WWE.com. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, their ages, what they have left, and all that, and their positions on the card. Because why not? Also AEW, because I'm going to talk about AEW, because it's going to be a multi-part series. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to basically finish up the WWE stuff here. I didn't think this would be 4 parts. I wrote down every single name, and I was like, my God, I've gone really, really long. So anyway, yeah, Cedric Alexander is 35. Please sign Cedric. Please sign Cedric. And ever since, well, I would argue pretty much since about, the whole Hurt Business feud thing, Cedric has really been kind of floating. He hasn't really been used all that well, and it's not like he's totally done. I mean, he got himself in, even though he wasn't in bad shape in Ring of Honor, he got himself in better shape to be in the Cruiserweight Classic, and got signed, did a great match against, I believe, Kota Ibushi, and has been there since 2016, so he's coming up on 9 goddamn years. Cedric is still a talent they could utilize. I just don't think they're going to use him as anything more than enhancement talent, which is a shame because he's still got prime years left. So, Prime Alexander, as it were. I hope they give him a concerted push. Do something. Feature. Put him with the goddamn New Day. I don't know. Do something. So then we go to Hank Walker. I'm not really all that familiar with him, but Hank and Tank, and I don't get it. But he's 26, so maybe you'll learn something. He's not bad. I just don't really see any. I don't see any future. Chris Sabin, I mentioned this with the Alex Shelley part a while ago, as of this recording, that Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley have a couple years left, but knee injuries and age, that'll take them out in a couple years. Nothing wrong with that. They could be producers. They could do some good stuff, but they can at least have a WWE run. At age 25, Izzy Dame. Is she the one that's dating Steiner? I mean, I don't care, but I thought I saw them together. Whatever, it is what it is. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it necessarily, but I don't think she's awful, but I haven't seen enough of her to know if she's good, bad, or indifferent. But at 25, I mean, that's a prime age you can help a talent grow. Like Rita Repulsa, let my monsters grow. So, at age 32, Elektra Lopez. I gotta be honest, I don't think Elektra Lopez is ever going to be seen as a dynamic performer in the ring. But she looks great, standing at ringside and doing a couple run-ins and doing stuff. She has that star quality. I just don't know if the in-ring, work is going to be up to snuff. And she's ever going to be seen as anything more than, okay, she's going to be in multi-person matches. But is she ever going to be a proper singles performer? Probably not, but 32, she could get better in a couple years. Who knows? JC Jane, 28 years old, has been, quite frankly, wasted in NXT. Even though I like her and Fallon as a team, and Jasmine is also there. I don't think Jasmine's bad. JC has been ready for the main roster for a couple years, and they keep spinning their wheels with her in NXT. If she's happy there, it's fine. It's just, 28 years old, she's done some of her best goddamn work. She does a lot with, the limited TV time she gets. Whenever she's in the ring, she will, and I'd like to, the scream, that kind of stuff. I can't do it like she does. Nobody can scream like JC Jane. That sounded a lot less dirty in my head, but let's just roll with it. But I think JC is primed for big things, and hopefully they will actually feature her right, because look at her. I mean, with respect, her work, her look. Yes, she is an incredibly attractive woman, but just look at her. That is a star right there. You just need to give her a chance. I don't know if she'll ever be more than maybe a one-time women's champion on the main roster, that is. But my God, with some of the people they are bringing back and some of the people they are featuring, some of the people they have on the main roster, JC Jane is leagues better than at least 50% of them. I'm not trying to tear anybody down, just saying. I'm a big fan of JC Jane. And Pretty Deadly. Elton Prince and Kit O'Connor, whatever the hell his name is, I don't know. 27 and 29. I don't care for them. I don't care for the gimmick. I think it's stupid. I don't hate the people. I think they need a complete reset as far as the gimmick. I think, quite frankly, they are a rotten goddamn team to watch. But in-ring work isn't even all. I don't even think, again, their in-ring work is the worst. I just can't stand watching them because they're not funny. And they drag the tag division down. They need to repackage, reset them, and maybe treat them a little more seriously. And maybe I still won't give a shit. But they're in their late 20s, so it's not like they don't have time to get better. Jada Parker, 25 years old, needs to learn to keep her goddamn mouth shut if she doesn't want to be called transphobic, which apparently she is. That's me on my soapbox for a little bit, because you can accidentally like a post, but when you double, triple, quadruple down like she did, she's lucky. Quite frankly, she has a fat ass, or she probably wouldn't have even gotten a second look, because even though that she had that match with Roxanne, even though she has shown attitude and has shown a willingness to get better, those outside the ring antics, and she's not the only one, by the way, but a lot of talents keep their mouths shut. She probably needs to keep her goddamn mouth shut, because, honey, there are a lot more women, there are a lot more talented that would know not to say something like that could easily take your goddamn spot. And she hasn't even been featured, I think, since Lola Vice beat her in that NXT Underground match. And gee, where the hell has she been? Serious. Like, is she injured? She clearly has a brain injury, because if she thinks that's a good thing with the whole trans athlete stuff. And look, I mean, I'll get off my soapbox in a little bit, but it's just, if that's the kind of view that she's going to have, that's the kind of view other people are going to have, you don't understand how these issues actually work. And if you hate people that are trans, just say it. You're just deserving to get the backlash. You can say what you want. It's a free goddamn country, but everybody's got a right to call you out on it. So, that being said, Jada Parker had a good match with Roxanne. She has shown flashes of brilliance in the ring. But maybe 2024 was her peak. I mean, 25, she's got a chance to learn and attach her brainstem that was detached at birth, apparently. So, Giovanni Vinci, 34 years old. I keep forgetting he's there. They have repackaged, all the way home for the packaging. And it hasn't worked. He's just there. So, Jakara Jackson. I just don't see anything with Vinci. I don't think he's a bad athlete. I just don't see any future for him. Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend are better as a team, if we're being honest, because it hides their weaknesses. Because both still need to be brought along. They have the attitude and they have the persona to carry themselves decently in the ring, but the in-ring skill, there are flashes. Lash is powerful. Jakara has a certain flair about her, but I don't know. Jakara, though, it's only 30, so there's time to get better. Grayson Waller is 34. I would have honestly thought he was in his late 20s. At 34, I think he's pretty much just hit his goddamn ceiling. I don't mind him. I've really become a fan of him since he beat the shit out of Candice LeRae's lawn gnome right in front of the kid. Oh, wait, that was Gargano. My mistake. They're the same size. Grayson Waller is good, but I think will be a perennial tag team guy. I don't see him having much single success. Even though he had decent single success, relatively speaking, in NXT, I don't see it happening on the main roster. And then Javier Bernal. Keep forgetting he's there. It was Javi time. He was trying to make the most of television. Hey, him and Tatum are married. They seem happy together, and that's great. Javi does not seem like a bad talent. I mean, at 25... there is still time to use him, but he's been kind of just utilized as an enhancement talent constantly. So they probably need to just, repackage and give him something to really, get, like, let's push him a little bit. They need to call some people up from NXT anyway, so you got people that need to take over spots. I'm not saying Javi will ever be a goddamn world champion, but shit, he's not awful in the ring and has good character work. So anyway, Grayson Waller is 32, Jacob Fatu is 32 years old. Met him in an indie show almost 7 years ago. Very talented, but boy, when that bell rings, you get out of his fucking way. I'm really happy he's in WWE, though. He was busting his ass on the indies. That moonsault that he hits is a thing of beauty. If you have not seen it in person, it is so impressive. And he hits it so effortlessly. When I saw what he did, when I saw him first do that, I don't remember if I said whoa and then looked at Chris, but I remember we're just like, the fuck? I mean, because yes, big men have done moonsaults like it, but just the fact, spring, and he does it. It's just so impressive. That's a future world champion right there. That is somebody they could build around. That is basically, he's basically Umaga, just better. Like, he is somebody that is so goddamn skilled. And he's got the promo down. He is really fucking good. He is somebody to build around 100%. Jasmine Nix is 24, and yeah, I dumped on her because of JC Jane, Fallon Henley stuff. I don't think Jasmine's bad. It's going to take a lot longer with her. I mean, at 24, she's got time. But just at this point, I don't know. So we go to Jade Cargill, who, she's 32. She's probably going to be in Hollywood by 35. Is currently nursing some kind of injury or was just written out just because needed more training. I don't know. Build a storyline. I'm not sure. I don't have a clue. Jade really does shine when she's featured in short bursts. She really did have her growth stunted in AEW. She should have a couple WrestleMania moments, but I don't see her wrestling past 35. And I don't know if she needs to. And striking look, incredibly striking look. But she's going to have, a short window, and that's fine. But a couple more years, they'd get more out of her, and she could create more moments. So, we go Javon Evans. He is 20. Somebody from 2004 is wrestling. Good Lord. He in WWE, no less. I was 23 at that time. Javon Evans has hops. He's very, very athletic. He can do a lot of high-flying shit. I just worry that if he doesn't slow down, I know he's 20. If he doesn't slow down, it's going to be a Rey Mysterio-like situation, or it's going to be a Cruiserweight-like situation where he's going to start having issues and he's going to start piling up injuries from doing shit that he can do, but he needs to learn to, take it easy on that. And that's not even that's just me as a fucking fan. I just think that Javon Evans is good. And can be great. I just hope that slows down a little bit. But at 20, sky's the fucking limit, literally, with how high he can jump. So, Carl Anderson is 45 years old. Why is this motherfucker still getting a WWE paycheck despite the fact he has contributed nothing positive to that brand since his debut? I'm not saying the guy doesn't deserve to make money, but quite frankly, him and Luke Gallows should be back in New Japan. They are not very good at all. Well, and Anderson's even more offensive. Knocking, the company, oh, they suck, they did this, and all this stuff. And oh, boy, you're willing to take their money again, though. Like, maybe realize that certain things. I mean, I'm not saying, by the way, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows were two of the many people that were fired in that mass firing when the pandemic hit. And that was bullshit. But the fact that Anderson didn't let that go, but then suddenly was willing to basically shaft New Japan and go back for a big payday from WWE, I don't fault him for that, but basically he just essentially said, yeah, I'm just getting my last payday because I'm not going to come back to Japan. And New Japan would be stupid to bring him back because the motherfucker can't move, can't really do anything anymore. Joe Coffey is 36. Yeah, I don't know why Gallus is still even being, utilized in any way, shape, or form, because they're not very good. They have an okay theme. I think their theme is the best part of them. But both the Coffey brothers and fucking Wolfgang Puck, I mean, why the hell? Why? They were part of NXT UK. They dragged some of regular NXT down, and yeah. Kevin Owens is 40, same age as Sami Zayn. And much like Sami Zayn, I think has a couple years left because I don't see him doing much more. And I don't think he needs to do much more. He can coach, produce, whatever. But you don't need to wrestle past your early 40s unless, you're being offered freakish money because, with the bumps that him and Sami Zayn took in Ring of Honor, and have even taken in WWE, there's not a lot left in the tank for either of them. Josh Briggs is 31 years old. Wasn't he like one of the sex pests? Or, allegedly. I mean, I don't actually know. I don't actually know how much of it was proven, how much wasn't. But I remember hearing about him was speaking out multiple times. Why in the world is Josh Briggs being seen as somebody that can be pushed, where even if that wasn't the case, the guy is bland. Brooks Jensen has a much bigger upside. Josh Briggs, I think, did a little stint for Pro Wrestling Noah, and that was about it. I don't understand why Josh Briggs would be featured, because he's not really that good. He's just not. He's a big guy. They got other big guys. Other big guys that got more charisma. So we have LA Knight. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be a little bit hypocritical here, because I think LA Knight has 5 years left with his style and his mic work. Yes, he's 42. And yes, his best years are easily behind him. It is not like LA Knight is going to, be somebody who's going to wrestle for another 20 years. But he had to work hard to get to WWE. Is making the most of it, is selling a lot of t-shirts, getting some good reactions still, despite the questionable booking, and is somebody that they can utilize for the coming years. Is he somebody that will ever be a world champion? I doubt it. I just simply doubt it. It'd be cool if he won Money in the Bank this year and cashed in. That would be great. But he is still somebody that is going to at least get a reaction from people, and that counts for something. Much more than Carl fucking Anderson. Carmen Petrovic. 29, interesting style, good look, has talent, has the potential to at least, grow. I don't know. She's all right. Like, if you take based on what I've seen, she's all right, but she can get better. She's at least got more potential than some of the ones that they're featuring in NXT. But Luke Gallows is 41 years old, and much like Carl Anderson, I am debating why the fuck this guy is still getting a paycheck from a big company, despite the fact they are never utilized. I don't think they have appeared on television in 6 months. And it might have even been longer than that. I don't even hate Anderson and Gallows, despite what I said about Anderson, but just as far as workers, they don't belong in WWE. They just don't. Why even feature them? Why waste money on these guys and not use them? Put them on TV if you're going to pay them. Kalani Jordan, 26 years old, first ever NXT North American Women's Champion. Good athlete. That match with Wendy Chu was scarring, though, because it was terrible. Exposed both of them. But Kalani is somebody that really does get the athletic part of it. The promos are going to take a bit. You might want to bring back managers for talents like her. But she seems nervous doing that. And it would be nerve-wracking to speak in front of numerous people, thousands of people, or millions of people watching at home, or hundreds of thousands of people watching at home. But Kalani Jordan is good, and definitely a prized possession for the future for the company. Mia Yim, 35 years old, has worked really hard over the last couple years to get more television time, has had some pretty good matches and good moments. I didn't really like the dumpster match with Chelsea Green. I know I'm not saying it right, but oh well. Chelsea Green. There we go. There it is. Mia Yim is good, but I don't think will ever win much singles gold. She might win the mid-card title, but she's never going to win the big one. She's good, though. She's good. Seems to have gotten over the slowdown period she had in NXT, where it seemed like she was moving through quicksand. I know she had injuries that she was battling through, but still. Number 23, Kendall Gray. I don't know who she is. She's in NXT, though, 23. There's potential. Montez Ford, 34 years old. There was a time to feature him as a singles guy. I don't know if that time has passed yet. But he's good. I could see him trying to go to Hollywood, much like Bianca will. But if they're going to actually feature the Profits in a serious manner, going for the tag titles again, I wouldn't be against it. It'd be better than DIY as the champions. But Montez, still great leaping ability, great athleticism, has physical charisma for days. Him and Dawkins are a dynamite team. But I don't know if they're ever going to see the potential in him. Lash Legend is 27. I said what is copy and paste what I said about Jakara Jackson. Potential, don't know how much of it's actually going to end up being realized, but she's got the size for it. Nia Jax is 40 years old and moves like she's 60. And I don't care if that match with Naomi exceeded my expectations and the cash-in was great. Nia Jax should not be employed in this company beyond this year because she's a sack of wet wheat. They can't do anything. Lola Vice. Okay. You can kick people and shake your ass. Good job. No, Lola's fine. I don't quite get it with her, though. I think she's got... I just don't get it with her. I just don't. But at 26, it's not like there's not room to grow and room to get better. I'm putting Nick Aldis at 38 here because, yes, because he's age 38, but also because, yes, he is a SmackDown GM, but he probably could still wrestle. If called upon, maybe they'll do that for a particular angle. But if he just wants to be a GM and just do something, I don't mind that. Honestly, he broke his back for goddamn NWA, and Billy Corgan didn't reward him for shit. 24, at age 24, that is, Luca Crucifino. I think he's the tallest of the Italian group and whatever. Okay. Sounds like a character from Equalizer 3. Piper Niven is 33. She's not Dewdrop anymore. She's athletic and can do stuff. I just don't see her getting any more than, pushed any more than she has been. Maybe in a tag team, maybe occasional television wins. I just don't see it happening, beyond that with her. And Lucian Price, I believe he's the other member of Out the Mud. 28, they're big lads, but stop the Out the Mud name and actually feature people correctly. Randy Orton is 44, got a couple years left. What else can be said about Randy Orton? Malik Blade. I think he's 30, I'm not actually totally sure. He could be a little bit younger. Him and Idris Enofe, that I talked about in part 3, are a pretty good tag team. I think Enofe is actually injured, or at least as of this recording. But nevertheless, they are a pretty good team, but I don't know if they'll ever be single stars. And because she's still on the active roster, even though she's retiring this year, Meiko Satomura, her career speaks for itself. She worked so long, she's worked on Nitro. Good Lord. 45, and she's done literally everything she can do. She's the final boss for a reason. I just hope that maybe they do right by her retirement. And the former Robbie E., a.k.a. Mr. Stone, I mean, he's 41, and the fact is he still could work. He's a good manager. Now, sometimes he does overact a bit, but he's a pretty good manager. If they featured more managers, not necessarily like him, but more managers, it actually might be beneficial. I don't know why he's suddenly acting like such a comedy goof when I think he could do so much more, but nevertheless. Number 20, or at age 25, Miles Bourne. Apparently he's partially deaf. I did not know that. Good on the young lad for not letting that hold him down, though, and continuing to push forward. Quick, somebody sneaking up behind him, paint a sign that says help. I'm sorry. Miles Bourne is good. What I've seen. I've actually seen enough of his work to realize that he is a good athlete. He's a good young athlete, and he can be a great, spokesperson for that. He can do, he can show, hey, you don't have to let any, kind of issues stop you from trying to achieve your dreams. Also at age 25, Nikita Lyons with the ACLs of a 50-year-old and also the brain capacity of a freaking burnt fried egg. She can't work. She can't do anything. Many were blinded by the ass, myself included. Look at her in WoW Women of Wrestling. Look up the fact that she worked in WoW Women of Wrestling. Look how she looked there, and look how she looks now. She couldn't even work in WoW, and that was taped. And she works on live television and can't fucking work. And constantly is getting injured, and can't rap. And can't cut promos and can't talk like, you know, a normal human being. So I don't know why Nikita Lyons is there. Oh wait, I do, because Shawn Michaels has a type. Actually, he has two types. It just depends on which eye he's using to look. So, Noam Dar. No, at 31 years old, he no longer has the lovely Alicia Fox. I'm not finishing that. Yeah, Noam Dar. The metaphor stuff is stupid. Noam Dar is a good talent. But he's like Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, a lot of those guys from NXT UK. He's just going to be a guy to have good matches on the card. Oro Menza, or as I called him, Oro in the Blind Forest, 28 years old. Good size, good athlete. Again, metaphor, it's stupid. I think Oro's just going to be somebody they just feature occasionally. He's not awful, but he's not great. Ridge Holland, 36 years old. My God, it feels like that motherfucker's been there for 20 years. He's fine as far as in tag teams or being featured in matches where he doesn't win the big one, but really, Ridge, I don't blame him for the Big E thing. That happened. It's not his fault. Big E doesn't blame him. Ridge shouldn't have gotten the hate. The family shouldn't have gotten the hate. That's bullshit. We can be pissed that Big E's gone. We can, as far as in ring, he's not dead. We can be pissed about that, but we can't be mad at goddamn Ridge Holland and hold that when he didn't mean to. It was a stupid move to do, but he didn't mean to, and his family certainly doesn't deserve that targeting. Now, that being said, Ridge Holland's work deserves targeting because he's kind of vanilla. He's good enough in the ring to get by, but whatever. Riley Osborne, 26 years old. Hey, Noah, you like Riley Osborne, don't you? God, Noah's going to kill me if he watches this. Yeah, part of Chase U. Wasn't he the one that Thea Hale was flirting with? Probably. I haven't seen enough of him. Roxanne Perez, 23 years old. She is the prodigy for a reason. That's a superstar for 15 fucking years. She is good. She can work face or heels. She has a great moveset. She has a great look. That's somebody that it's a great thing they signed her. Sky is truly the limit for her. Sol Ruca, 25 years old. As long as she doesn't blow out her fucking knees doing some of those handspring things that she does, she is very, very fucking athletic. That goddamn handspring buckshot lariat that she did, I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. She is very, very good. I really hope her knees hold up. I know she just had the one knee injury, but good God, now I just cringe when I see her land. Stephanie Vaquer, 31 years old. And incredible look. Fuck. What a goddess. But she's also an incredibly good worker. That match with Mercedes Moné was pretty much her shining light, the spotlight shining bright on her for a U.S. audience. And WWE took a look at her afterwards. Maybe they wanted to already sign her, and they're like, hey, you did that, we'll sign you. Because, Roosh, who stood by the guy that Stephanie apparently got away from, the guy that was pretty nasty towards her, shall we say, is working for AEW. So maybe Stephanie didn't want to be there, you fucking tribalist morons. Stephanie Vaquer has a great look, great work. Wish a woman would do that like Vice to me, but I digress. Stephanie is great. And is much like Julia, if she's around for another 5 or so years in WWE, women's division is going to be on fire. Tank Ledger, he's not Heath Ledger because Tank's career is alive and well, so he's 26. There you go. Stevie Turner, she's like the assistant to Robert Stone or assistant to Ava, or I don't know. 28, she's British. They dropped the DJ thing. I don't see a bad future for Stevie Turner. I don't see a future. Tatum Paxley, 28. Look, work-wise, she's decent. Character-wise, she has got it. She has found a way to get this crazy, kooky character going, and it's worked for her. It has really, really worked for her. I have really enjoyed what Tatum has done. It does not hurt that she is incredibly attractive, but it also doesn't hurt that she finds a way to draw your attention in. And you get to appreciate what she's doing. Tavian Heights, I believe he was one that showed up in Noah and actually had a pretty good run, whatever their tournament was. I saw like some clips of it, and I got sent a couple full matches. Good athlete, good look, good size. Let's see what he can do. 27, got a lot of future there, especially working in Japan and doing as well as he did from what I saw. That's a good thing. Thea Hale is 21 years old and take down the caffeine a little bit and settle down a bit, but she's got energy, she's got fire. I don't know about the wrestling ability yet, but she was signed while she was still in high school. So Thea Hale is somebody that can work and build and get better. So I think that Thea Hale has a very bright future. Again, 21, she's been in the company for a couple of years. This can work. This can work. Just, I'm glad the Chase U stuff's done. Make her a little more serious. Give her a manager, give her something, maybe do the Bruno Larry Zbyszko thing, like I mentioned before. Do the mentor student thing. They did that with her and JC, and that sort of worked, but I think you can do it even a little bit better. I wouldn't mind seeing Thea and Roxanne compete against each other before Roxanne goes to the main roster. So Trick Williams is 30 years old, and Carmelo is way ahead of him, and Trick is over. I think Trick's main event run may be over, because I don't see Trick succeeding that well on the main roster, because even though his NXT title wins popped the crowd, take a look at the matches. They weren't all that great. And it's not that Trick is bad, but Trick needs somebody to lead him. The feud with Ethan Page wasn't all that great. I think Trick's ceiling may have been hit. I hope I'm wrong. But 25, is what it is. Tyreek Igué, I don't know who the hell he is. That's the name I saw on the roster page. I assume he's one of the people that WWE signed from the NIL or whatever it is. So, I don't know. What I saw, he looks like he has decent size. I just don't know anything about him. Tyson DuPont. I don't know anything except he's 27 and looked like he had good size. Wendy Chu is 33 years old, and get her out of the stupid pajamas and actually make her a serious wrestler, and I might give a shit, but time is running out, because those gimmicks are rotten. Wes Lee, 30 years old, recently turned heel. Well, recently, it's been the last number of months. Came back from that back injury. Wes Lee is somebody they could actually do some good stuff with. He might actually get over more than Carmelo if they feature him right. Problem is, Carmelo's bigger than Wes Lee. So I don't know how well that's going to end up working out. But I think Wesley's very good and has a bright future. Now we go to Wolfgang. Wolfgang Puck, 38 years old. Yeah. Mark Coffey, Joe Coffey. There you go. Mark Coffey even still there. Nevertheless, Ren Sinclair. I'm watching you, Renkowski. Always watching. Haven't done that in a while. That being said, she's 29. She's fine. She actually did okay in that Iron Survivor Scramble match thing, but 29, there's time to go. There's time to go and time to build and get better. Number 25, Zarya. As good as she looks and as impactful as she can be, I think she's going to get lost in the shuffle. But she is a few years younger than Julia and Stephanie, and that's not being ageist. But there's time to bring her along. But I think she's going to be one of those signs that possibly gets lost in the shuffle. Looks good, though. At 25, there is plenty of time to build upon her. That's it for the WWE roster. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Ritland. I'll see you soon.